In this video, we're going to discuss the universal collective, thus global energy for the Scorpio new moon, November 1st, 2024. Welcome and greetings. Thank you for tuning in and watching. My name is Edward, psychic medium, animal communicator, your soul messenger host, assisting us all, including myself, to live, love, and manifest a life that our soul intended for us to live this lifetime. Let's get busy. All right. Another interesting set of energies is upon us. And odds are it will be just as dramatic as a Scorpio can be. It is a Scorpio new moon, after all. So, quick introduction, go to my website, edwardragosta.community. Link readings. Current schedule is there. You can do a telephone reading. You can see me in person at Light Club Curiosity Shop, Sugarloaf, New York, or Warwick, New York, mostly Warwick, New York. You can also have a telephone reading with me as well, and online via Zoom as well. And then go to my website, link Medium Tarot TV. All my current videos will be there, including this one, and the accompanying theme healing songs as well. All right. And you can also subscribe for more videos, video subscription service, daily videos, insight, foresight, make it your best life. Moving forward, feed your soul. Medium Tarot TV Plus. That's it. Feed your soul. All right. So let's get to it. So we have a pretty dynamic month set of energies. We'll just include some astrological associations. For the zodiac year 2024, which I think began around April 8th of 2024 and runs through winter of 2025, I think towards the end of March 2025, we have Leo, sun signs, activated, empowered, and or triggered. Leo sun signs natives are our energetic mascots. And we also have Saturn in Pisces. If you have that placement, Saturn in Pisces, you're activating, empowered, and triggered as well. For the current solar month, but everything that falls on the day is in influence for the actual month. And that month that we are talking about would be November 1st through November 30th. Interesting. Okay. So it basically completes the month of November. Interesting. Okay. So for the current solar month, we have Scorpio sun signs activating, empowered, and triggered. It isn't always the case. So, and the other energy doesn't have its thoughts of aggravation. So we have to be careful not to get over agitated or irritated, which is quite possible because tensions could be high. With Scorpio, I always think in with the new, out with the old. And that certainly will hold true, whether we like it or not, when we get to the day energy. Indeed. Okay. So we'll move on to the current week energy. And I haven't figured that out, so I'll have to fill that in later. And the week energy is, the Astrological Association is Mars in Capricorn. So in itself, that's not bad, of course. Mars is action, impetus, drive for forward movement, taking action. Capricorn is an industrious energy. Reminds us that with the indirect influence of the planet Saturn, the task master of the zodiac, it reminds us that we have to put time, energy, and effort into something. Now, what makes this tricky, though, is because this is the energy that I attribute to the sense of security within, self worth, self love, self esteem, self confidence. And I feel that this is the most important out of all of the matters associated with the element of earth, even above our physical health, because this affects our physical health. And then, of course, physical health rules. That's number 2 on that list, as far as I'm concerned. Now, so some people who are unfortunately moody or are prone to get depressed, they could be triggered with this new moon. Because some people might feel like they're wearing their heart on their sleeve, like they are being exposed. Just remember, if this is a time where you need someone to listen to you or assistance, please seek it out. We all need we all need someone to lean on from time to time. Everybody. Now, this energy is also showing our wares, so to speak, personal and or business. Like an apprenticeship, like letting people know what we are available for, personal or business. But it's definitely, I'm not saying you have to give out samples, but this is like an energy of giving out samples or of having a business card ready to give out. It's like letting people know what we are available for. So somehow putting ourselves out there. That's what's coming down to. All right. That could be marketing, could be promotion, maybe, maybe not. But the image that we see about ourselves will be the image that we project onto others. That's important to remember. Okay, I'll leave it on that note. And then we get to the day energy. So the moon is obviously in Scorpio because the new moon in Scorpio is at 8:47 a.m. Eastern. Adjust the time to where you are on the globe. The color of the day is coral. It is known as All Saints Day. Okay. I believe Day of the Dead is also celebrated in another faith tradition. Okay. Now, the day energy will make this new moon feel like a full moon. The energy of it is endings. So something is coming to a close. It could be a chapter. It could be something is leaving influence out of our life. It could be us walking away from a way of thinking, a way of life, a job, a relationship. It can mean many different things. It's whatever we are personally experiencing, whatever is unfortunately no longer working for us, person, place, or thing. I understand it's not always that easy, but this is what it's coming down to. And if we did not do anything about it or allow it, then we're talking moody potential depression. I hate to say that, but it's staring at me in the face, so I cannot ignore it. Not all endings are bad, and not all endings should be unwelcomed. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Because there is another day. There is a better time. There is another dawn, another sunrise. But if we get caught up in, I mean, who hasn't been there? But if we get caught up in what's happening and how it's going to affect us in the moment, we might not be thinking it's really a blessing in disguise, or it's forcing me to do something that I need to do. Sometimes the universe does step in and say enough is enough. Which would be a fun alternative. If we needed to walk away from a relationship, that would be a fun theme healing song. Enough is enough. Donna Summer and Barbara Streisand. In disco, to boot. All right. So I welcome this energy, but then I also realize that everything has basically a shelf life. And when we end one cycle, we go on to another. All right. Then things get, I guess I can't say tricky, they get trickier with the psychic insight theme for this Scorpio new moon. The new moon in Scorpio is at 9 degrees. So if you're astrologically inclined, you look to see where 9 degrees Scorpio falls on your chart. And if you want to dig a little deeper in Scorpio fashion, Scorpio is not surface, you would look at the opposite sign, so 6 signs away from Scorpio. Also 9 degrees. So it's an axis of energy. So where Scorpio 9 degrees is where the focus, spotlight, and the opposite 9 degrees is where the shadow is. And in Scorpio fashion, that shadow area that's being represented at this time for us is probably going to be more important because that's going to be the underlying issue or reason or clue or answer. Okay. So this is the energy of, and this is tricky. Now I should say the day energy is attributed to Gemini sun signs. So Gemini sun signs are activated, empowered, and or triggered. They're not have anything to do with necessarily have anything to do with an ending, but they are thinkers. Geminis and Virgos are thinkers, represented by the planet Mercury. All right, so then back to the psychic insight theme. The Astrological Association is the planet Mars in Scorpio. That's a very active energy, and it's going to prompt us to take an action. And do we take an action out of spite? I hope not. Do we take an action because we need to make a shift? Okay, that would be good. But just don't do anything out of spite, out of anger. Because if so, we could do something that we would regret later. Do or say something we regret later, and then we have to backtrack, and then, well, just puts delays in everything. So if it can be avoided, right? So this is an energy, you know, there's a saying, do you see the glass half empty or half full? And it's an analogy for life. So do we see our energetic cup or glass half empty or half full? Half empty is coming from lack or loss because something has happened and it leaves us bewildered. It leaves us lacking, lackluster. So we have to be careful whenever, anytime this energy is present, but it's really present because it's the psychic insight theme, we have to focus on what we do have and I know it's easier said than done, but this is the answer. Let gratitude be the attitude. Let gratitude be the attitude. If we focus on, as the saying goes, spilt milk, if we focus on people that did not follow through, things that we lost out on, things that we should have taken an action on, but we didn't, that's only going to spiral downward and then Moody, leading to potential depression. Not worth it. Or just taking an action, because Mars in Scorpio, that's a strong energy. The Mars in Capricorn, that's urging us to take an action that is productive. And of course, that's the way to go. Unless you are plussing something, adding to something, then that gusto of Mars in Scorpio would definitely come into play. So if you need someone to talk to, please seek that out. Okay? Given this set of energies. Now, I'll give some new moon suggestions for new moon intentions if you like to work with the new moon. I felt it's gonna feel like some people prefer to work with the full moon energy, the totality of it. But to me, this feels like a full moon because of that ending. It's not necessarily bad or negative, but because of that. So, do we need to improve our sense of security within? Self worth, self love, self esteem, self confidence. Okay? Do we need, or do we know of anyone that could use some anger management? That could come up with the combinations of energies, including the solar month energy influence of thoughts of aggravation and or strife. Is there anything that we need to let go of? Or, let's see, the Beatles would be Let It Be, Disney Frozen would be Let It Go. Or do we need to step back from something, person, place, thing? We can ask for assistance with that. Or if we are reaching for a goal or end game, because an ending could be retirement. Like I said, not all endings are bad. If it correlates with the end of a cycle or the end of a phase and moving on to the next one, if it correlates with that, we can put that out as a new moon intention. And then if we need assistance with having gratitude as our attitude, I mean, we're not all rainbows and unicorns and Pollyanna 24/7, right? So if we need some assistance with staying on the sunny side of the street, right, energetically, or staying positive, can ask for assistance with that as well. Again, seek someone to hear your story or your side of the story if that feels right. Okay? All right. So I see this as a very powerful new moon in Scorpio fashion, right on the heels of Halloween Samhain, and back in the day, Halloween Samhain would represent summer's end, the end of summer, and the prep for winter. So, energetically, that's what we're doing. We're gearing up for the winter season that is basically around the corner, right? All right. So, whatever you decide to do, make this the best new moon possible. If we allow whatever needs to move to another phase or cycle, then it will be fruitful, especially looking back. When we go through stuff, doesn't always seem that it's beneficial. All right. So make it the best one possible. We hope to see you real soon in another video or in a reading, telephone, in person, or online. You take care.